Give it up again for Mr. Paul Bryan, please. That guy. You know, another amazing thing about him, this is, I think, only his second paid show. Takes most people a lot longer than that, I'll tell you. Our next comic. Are you ready for our next comic? Okay. Our next comic is a young lady who could best be described as fiery, spicy, and gingery. In fact, she's kind of like a human bottle of sriracha sauce. That's kind of what she is. She's, like I said, she will wake you up. And now, Whitney Russell, give it up. Woo!
Woo! Ow! Yeah. Sit down, boys. Take your time.
She is.
Hey guys. I don't know if you noticed, but those lights, the red and blue light, they match my shoes. Yeah, they did it for me. Pretty cool. So I've been eating blueberries every day to help with my memory, and I think it's working. So I've been eating blueberries every day to help with my memory, and I think it's working. So tomorrow's April Fool's Day, right? Yeah, I'm probably gonna get fooled. Seeing how I was fooled for 4 years of marriage, right? Because my husband was a dick. Yeah. How's everyone doing tonight? Is anybody drunk? I'm a little tipsy. They do not, they put a lot of vodka in that cranberry and vodka. I was like, can I have a little splash of cranberry with that vodka? They did it. Man, I'm really tired. Is anyone else tired?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Thursday. It's like the end of the week. Everybody gets all tired. I hate when people look at you and they're like, man, you look so tired. Isn't that just kind of an asshole thing to say? No one wants to hear that. It makes me want to go to the person's house at like 3 a.m. and wake him up in the middle of the night and say, hey, Karen, you look fucking tired. Did you like that? You don't have any makeup on. You look tired. So, did anyone remember those peanut butter Jif commercials from the 90s? Anyone? No one? Oh my God, man. Yeah. Okay, well anyway. They'd say, moms like you, choose Jif. Choose Jif. Well, when I was little, I thought they were saying Jeff. So I was over here wondering who the hell Jeff was and why my mom kept on choosing him every damn time. Yeah. I was picturing Jeff over here on the corner like, hey kids, the name's Jeff and I'm your new stepdaddy. Me and your mom get a little kinky and sometimes things get a little sticky. And now I find, as I've grown older, that all I want are chunky men who are smooth talkers.
Yeah.
Damn it, Jeff. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I actually got suspenders that have PB&J on them for that reason, because I'm ridiculous.
PBJ?
PBJ, yeah. Anyway, so I called my doctor the other day, and I thought that I had a bill that's $25, right? So I call her and I'm like, hey, I'm just here to pay my bill. I think it's like $25. And she goes, yeah, you owe $1,800. And I'm like, oh Jesus. Yeah, and she's like, we didn't find anything wrong with you, but by the sound of your crying, I'm pretty sure you just have depression. Yeah, I wish you can get a refund, actually, like when everything's fine, a doctor's appointment. I wish you could just get a refund for it. It just seems like a waste, right? You're like, you're fine, you spent like $1,000, but you're okay. I'm like, I kind of wish something was wrong at this point, so it was worth it. It's okay, I'm used to people not giving me attention. My parents were alcoholics, so yeah.
As she drinks.
Yeah, so I'm kind of in that route. So I hate when I'm with a guy and I tell them I'm kind of curious about a woman, right? And they're like, you know what I think would help you with that? I think if we had a threesome, that'd probably fix it. And I'm like, no, I think that helps you. How about we have a twosome, and you could be outside the bedroom eating a taco, while I'm inside the bedroom also eating a taco. Yeah. And if you didn't know that, it meant a vagina. Yeah. So, my mom's hair caught on fire one time. Yeah, she'd been drinking a little bit. You know, I mentioned that my parents were alcoholics. She drank a lot of vodka before, and she put a whole bunch of hairspray in her hair. And so she was hanging out on the passenger side in her best friend's ride. And all of a sudden, I just hear her go, ah, ah. And I just look in the side, and I just see my mom's hair just catching on fire, and I'm like, oh my God! And I just start hitting her, right? Smacking her to death. I think I gave her a black eye. I don't know if it was from the fire, or if it was just like, you know, when she got rid of my animals within like a week. Giving me commitment issues, right? But after all that, she was like, oh my God, I feel like you should be a firefighter. You were so fast. Oh my God. Oh, Jesus. This stage is bright.
Woo!
Mm-hmm.
Go get him, Whitney.
Everything, it's kind of like a cop kind of feeling, the blue and the red light.
Yeah.
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 Let's see. So, has anyone ever heard of Clone-A-Willy? Or was it just me? No one's heard of Clone-A-Willy? Oh my God. I guess I heard it like a couple weeks ago. You know Clone-A-Willy, right? It's ridiculous. Yeah. So it's basically where you can take a boyfriend's wiener or a one-night stand's wiener, whoever you prefer, right? And you can clone it and make a dildo out of it. Yeah. But what happens if you're like all promiscuous and you do this to every person you're with? So you just have like a closet full of dildos, right? The ghost of dildos past. But then you have them all like lined up by size, right? So you got Tiny Tim on the end, and then Big Dick Bob at the beginning. But then, like, what happens when you start dating someone else, right? And you don't tell them about the Clone-A-Willy thing. And then one day they're like, you know, what about pegging, right? I'm like, okay. And then I give them Big Dick Bob. So they go home limping. All right, I'm sorry, you guys don't like the kinky jokes. Let me think of dad jokes. Yeah, dad jokes. Woo, what dad jokes do you want to hear? I have a joke about my dad, actually. Let's see. So let me tell you a little story about how my parents met. My dad was a cop at the time, right? And he decided to go get a drink after work. So he spotted this cute bartender, aka my mom. And he flirted with her a little bit. And when he decided he had a shot with her, he goes, you know, I'd think about asking you on a date if you lost about 10 pounds off of your ass. To which she said, you know, I can always lose weight, but you can't do anything about your height. And so he handcuffed her like a gentleman does, and he took her out on a date. And that, my friends, was how I was conceived. Yeah, they call me Kinky Whitney for a reason. Obviously, with these suspenders and dildo talk. I'm actually not that kinky. I'm not crazy. One time, though, so speaking of my dad, So I was taught how to drive. People say I often suck at driving, right? I'm like, I swerve all over the road. But listen, I was taught how to drive by my dad, who was drinking a Miller Lite beside me in a high school parking lot. He was like, all right, parked the car, and he's like, now it's your turn. Someone's got to get us home tonight. It sure as hell ain't me. So I was like, fuck that noise, Dad. And I don't know how we got home that night, or if it was any better having a drunk driver drive us home, or a teen that was inexperienced, but listen, I passed my driver's test with flying colors after like the third or the fourth time. Who's counting, really?
It's not important.
It's not important, right? Has anyone ever been to the DMV here, by the way? It's like fucking a magical experience. It was the best DMV experience I've ever had. I went there and they were like offering me drinks, right? They're like, do you want a cranberry and vodka? A gin and Sprite? And that was the driver's test, and I failed very bad. Okay. How much time do I got, Mark? Well, I have a joke that's like 4 minutes, so is it?
Oh, perfect.
Okay, cool. Has anyone ever been in a hostage situation? Or is it right now? Because I kind of feel like I'm taking you guys in a hostage situation. Oh, yeah. This is the worst I've ever done. Thank you.
Doing great. We love you.
Yeah, I love you too, little Jin. So I was in a hostage situation back in 2017. Yeah. In a little tiny retired Kansas population in Kansas. There was like 20,000. Nothing went on there, right? Besides this hostage situation. Yeah, so I was working at a place that I won't mention the name. It was called Vitamin World. They were closed down anyway, so who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this guy came in and he was all, I thought he was just like all worked up on pre-workout. But it turns out he was just on a lot of meth. Yeah, surprising, right? Kansas? So he came in, he was all depressed, and he's like he's asking for like vitamins, that help with that. And I'm like, well, there's happy pills, there's St. John's wort, you can have sex with me. Yeah, none of those options worked, weirdly enough. So this other customer comes in, I go help her, right? And then I see this guy in the back room with my coworker, and I thought that was kind of weird. So I went over there like the badass bitch that I am, right? I was like, I'm gonna go protect him, yeah. And it was all normal conversation, right? He's like, it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, right? I'm like, yeah. And then it just got really weird. And he was like, hey, guys, can you please hide me from the cops? Please? And we go, no, sorry, sir, that's not in our job description. And then he asked again, like we changed our mind, right? Like, oh, sorry, yeah. I had a shot of vodka, I'm feeling great. I feel like hiding you from the cops, yeah. And then he looked at me and he goes, do you want to go to the bathroom with me? I go, sorry, but I don't even go to the bathroom with guys I like. So we're in the bathroom together, right? And he's got me in this like tight hold, yeah. And I realized that I'm really digging that, yeah. So I figured with the hostage situation and all that we'd have plenty of time to get to know one another. So I was like, what's your favorite movie? It's probably Twilight, right? You seem like a soft guy. I like your no teeth. Are your eyes hazel? Anyways, I felt like he wasn't quite feeling that fierce connection that I was. So he opened up the door because the cops were on the other side and he goes, help me. This girl's trying to take me for hostage, right? And so the cops were able to break in. And at the time, they were like tasing him and whatnot, and he still just had this like tight hold on me. So I was like, maybe he does love me. I think someone loves me because my parents didn't, you know, they're alcoholics. Yeah, you can cry, it's okay. And so we're outside, and he's getting handcuffed, and I'm like, you know what? You give me a call when you're out of prison. Find me on Facebook, you know, Indeed, whatever you want. I don't know why Indeed, but if you're looking for a job, I'll give you a job at Vitamin World. And so I blew him. I blew him a kiss. I don't blow people on the first date. I think this was a date, right?
It was getting arrested.
I like red flags, you know, I just kind of color them pink and that helps. So after all that, they asked me, my job was like, so if you need any therapy, you know, it's for free. And so I go, I don't need any therapy, but because I'm better, you know, in that situation. But my husband at the time, he needed therapy because he was a fucking dick. Anyways, I don't know what else to talk about. I've been eating blueberries every day to help with my memory. And I think it's working. Thank you, guys.
Say your name again.
What's your
My
name?
name is Whitney.
Say it in Spanish.
Whitney Russell, ladies and gentlemen, Whitney Russell. Whoa.